Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your master of magical and mystical and martial arts, all at once, sometimes. Also, I'm the host of Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. It is live action series Thursday. We're going to be talking about 3 episodes of the Green Hornet, since we seem to get zipped through them quite quickly. And this contains, these are 3 good episodes. The first 2 are really good, especially the middle one, number 10. Which, perfect 10. But having said all that, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the notification bell if you'd like to see be notified of new content every day. And having said all that, grab yourself a big old bowl of hummus of perfection. I've got mine, your favorite delivery method, and let's get into it. All right, episode 9 begins with, of course, Mike yammering on about an art gallery and an art exhibit that happens to be at Britt's home, and then they turn on the television, and it's live. Of course, there's Casey being the hostess with the mostess, and they're like, "Hey, this girl's good," but unfortunately, the guard gets shot. There's a bang that and nobody even looks up, and there's all these priceless art pieces that are stolen right away. Cops show up, shoot one of the villains, but unfortunately, the villains have a laser and blast the cop car, and it now lasers do emit lots of heat, and it makes it explode, and we don't know if it kills the cops, but we kind of see it. And this is the Ray is for killing. Now, why Ray Harryhausen would want to kill anyone is just beyond. Why would they want to make him do that? Well, for 2 people that know how Ray used to talk, the late great Ray Harryhausen, they think that's funny. Obviously, it's a laser, and they go, and Britt runs down there because he really does like Casey. This episode was first broadcast on November 11th, 1966, and it stars everybody, and so there's one of our villains, the villain. And then there's our other one, though. I mean, it's obvious to pretty much everyone, but he's faux concerned about Casey. The scanner makes an appearance, or the tracer. But now they've got frickin' laser beams. And if you didn't think that Dr. Evil was going to make an appearance with lasers, well, you got another thing coming. And there it is. It's a pretty impressive looking thing, although if you saw it close up, it would probably look just like a giant prop. But they use an animated ray, which is always nice to see. There's the miscreant that got shot, and of course, to silence him, they give him the lantern. The Green Hornet is there to talk to him or kidnap him, probably. But he gives the guard the gas, but the laser takes care of the bad guy. Unfortunately, and we don't see the remains. If this was a Law and Order show, you'd probably see bits and pieces. Ugh. I do like the Law and Order shows, except there was never a happy ending, was there? So there's our miscreant, malefactor, running in with his laser. But fortunately, and they realize who it is. It's this bonehead. And off they go. So Kato beats up a bunch more people. Unfortunately, this is as good as it gets in the dark. His black outfit just does not do well in the dark in a poorly lit day for night scene. I'm sorry, guys. It's well directed. It's just they had a budget and they had to shoot a lot of nighttime scenes in the daytime, and didn't work out for them. It worked out about half the time. They burst open the door there, and they want to make it. Of course, the Hornet's horning in, so to speak, on the action. He wants a piece of the action. It's literally what every episode could be called, because he's a villain, known as we know, only known to the DA and Casey. So they want Casey to make the money drop, though, because then they'll have leverage. But this is some anti-electric wave paint. Nope, nope. It's a different movie from the same time frame. That is an anti-laser. Well, it's anti-heat. It's for space capsules returning from space. It's kind of redundant because where else would they come back from? Casey's got a tracker, but the thieves are onto that, and they change cars. But off to the races we go. He's like, "Don't burn our own men down." But that's how they find him with the tracker. There's the laser, and there's the first car. Casey's in that, but they plan on burning the Hornet. But unfortunately, the laser doesn't work. So they turn it up to 11. Still doesn't work, and they crash through it. But fortunately, they missed the laser altogether somehow. But I like the detail here on the hood where it's kind of melted-ish. I'm assuming they did that on purpose, which is pretty smart. Kato beats up a bunch more people. Bad guy runs right into the laser, and that's it for him. And we don't know what happened. It's never explained where he got the laser or anything. So, and now we're on to the next episode, which of course is one of the best, probably everyone's favorite because it does spotlight Bruce Lee. It's the praying mantis. That's Jimmy Woo. No, maybe not. Maybe not Jimmy. Well, his name is Jimmy, but it's not Jimmy Woo, of course. So we do get a lot of Asian actors in here. Let's see. Jimmy Lee is Al Wong, probably. Jimmy Key, pardon me. Yeah. Oh, geez. Mr. Chang is Key Luke, the original number one son. So he's making a call to Britt to tell him about the gangs, the racketeers that are using the Tong to, well, take over. So off they go. And there is our villain. Well, one of our villains. That's Mako, who plays Lo Sing. Now, Mako was a Japanese American who was in lots and lots and lots of stuff. I mean, lots of stuff. Conan the Destroyer. He had a black belt in karate, and I'm sure he had unagi, but if he used it, he would not have gotten into a fight with Bruce Lee. But he's the leader. He's taken over the Tong and is going to make it powerful again, at least in Chinatown. There is his henchman, Alan Jung. Let's see. They don't really have many. They didn't speak too much. So Jimmy runs out and gets beat up, and they throw a mask down to incriminate him, which works with his girlfriend, Mary Chang, played by Lang Yun. So most of them were Chinese, which is kind of cool. Because a lot of times they would have anybody that just looked what they used to call Oriental, but Asian. And there, I believe that is Mr. Chang there, but you can't see his face. But he gets beat up pretty bad. And then Mary sees it, and then runs out and sees Jimmy lying unconscious. Like, why would he be knocked? Who would have knocked him out and then why would he have his hood there if he had been knocked out? But of course, he was upset. So, praying mantis, they get there just in time. Kato goes after him and gets shanghaied and walloped by Mako, which, of course, obviously not have happened in real life. Obviously, Bruce Lee was a better martial artist than Burt Ward, but Robin was a trained martial artist in the show. So, come on. Anyway, that pisses Kato off to no end, and off they go. This is where Mary finds the hood and blames Jimmy. There's Space Ghost himself, talking about the gang warfare. And now Kato's like, when we find the Kung Fu guy, I get him. And he says it with a hard G sound. It's not quite Kung Fu, but Gong Fu, which is how Bruce always said it if you listen to his interviews. So he's like, Britt's like, yeah, sure, fine. We have Mako showing his stooges they're all rather muscular. And it would not surprise me if these were Bruce's, some of his students at all. But he's doing Mantis style. So Chowgar, if you will, because they would all have been Cantonese at this point in time. So Southern style, which we'll talk about on Saturday a little more as well. Dun, dun, dun. Spoiler alert. So here's our other villain, the white guy, Duke Slate. Mr. Slate is apparently taking a break from bossing Fred Flintstone around. They don't like each other. Period. End of story. As we'll see, because they threaten each other. Now, they'd have killed each other in this. So, looks like a Mexican standoff. Mary calls Britt, says that she's obviously forgiven Jimmy, and tells him where he is at the Buddhist temple, who hurts himself trying to get away from the Green Hornet, which is they went to go kidnap him, so they probably would have just gassed him. He'd have been safer. And of course, the miscreants kidnap Mary. So off they go. And they feed the story out. Mako, Lo Sing is just not happy about listening to this Guelo at all. But they break through the door. That looks like Kato is walloping him right in the family jewels. He tells Lo Sing, I think we've seen each other before. So look at this. Perfect martial arts stance. They're not squared up. They're sideways. The Hornets just walloped one of the henchmen, but they are not. They're looking right at each other. Good. This could have been a 2-part episode and would have been even better. And once again, if you'd have had the guy running the beauty salon, actually like the big bad, they could have tied a lot of these episodes together. It would have been fun. The Hornet waylays Mr. Slate and his goons, and they bring him into the rest of the Tong. And they're supposed to be the money for Jimmy, but of course, Lo Sing double crosses him because he's like, no, I'm taking over everything, at least this part of the world. Look at the intensity there. He can be funny in the show, and he can also, he's going to kick your butt. So he beats up 2 or 3 of the Tong there. He's using the spear. Now he's got a staff. He also has nunchucks, proving that he was, once again, using them long before he got famous for it. They were just short-sighted and not making it the Kato and the Green Hornet show. Or at least making them equals. Give them both billing. But such was the 60s. Look at salutes there. Now Bruce, of course, was a Wing Chun. He probably had his Jeet Kune Do in the back of his mind. I don't know if he refined it yet. Fighting without fighting, the form without form. But notice the different style of poses, though. So you don't get much of a fight. It's actually pretty true to life. 3 or 4 strikes. It used to be the edited version was the most popular one to see, and it was really just showed Kato hitting him in the chest, nothing after some feints. But they had a bit of more. He actually injures Bruce or Kato, and his hair's grown out a little more. It looks a little better now. But down he goes because he's probably dead from the dim muck, the death touch. All right, let's get out of here. They phone Scanlan with the special stopwatch or or pocket watch, pardon me. And now they're at Chang's having the Golden Lotus having at least a 7-course meal, and there's lots of food in these, like 11 courses. I've been to a couple of these fancy meals. Delicious, but oh my goodness. Mike's saying he's going to explode and they'll have to feed him under the table. And then he gets a call and they think they've cornered the Green Hornet. Britt's not interested at all, and he says he'd be really surprised if it was the Green Hornet down there, and they're using chopsticks and eating, I don't know, orange chicken, something. Probably all Cantonese food here at this point in time. Anyway, so that is the most famous episode. And let's pause here for just a moment. We'll pause. And we will.
Another challenge for the Green Hornet, his aide Kato, and their rolling arsenal, the Black Beauty. On police records, a wanted criminal, the Green Hornet is really Britt Reed, owner publisher of the Daily Sentinel. His dual identity known only to his secretary and to the district attorney. And now, to protect the rights and lives of decent citizens, rides the Green Hornet.
final episode here is a pretty good one as well. It's not as good as the last one, but they have figured out that they should highlight Kato doing kung fu, because there was nothing else like that on television except for the Wild Wild West, which was in its third or fourth season and had to tone down the fights. But I think at this point in time, probably the third season. And they have great fight scenes, probably the best fight scenes on television. But we'll talk about the Wild Wild West at some point in time. So this guy here has some information. It's Mel Herc, Frank Gerstle, and he wants to sell it to the Hornet. But before he can do that, he gets shot in the back by an arrow. And off they go trying to follow him, but they run afoul. The car blows up. Hornet, they leave. The Hunters and the Hunted. This episode was broadcast first on November 25th, 1966, so you can extrapolate from there when The Praying Mantis was first broadcast. I can't imagine seeing that for the first time on the Kung Fu like that. I mean, like authentic style Kung Fu for the first time. Kids wouldn't even have known back then, except that they say Kung Fu for about 18 times in the show. They're trying to figure out what's going on here. Casey's looking wonderful. There's our new the guy that takes over, and he's hilarious because the Hornet the Hornet sting bursts the door down. There's a Hornet dart that Kato throws with such accuracy. Sometimes he aims for hands, but most of the time he's not trying. Well, he does injure people. See, you get more fights. He's like, "What do you want?" And of course, he wants cut in, but they want to know what's going on because all the bad guys are the top crime bosses are getting killed. And this leads them to an explorers club. Let's see. I thought maybe that was in here. Yeah, the Elite Explorers Club. Britt wants to become a member, and guess who he talks to? Who could that be now? I just couldn't think. But there he goes. So he and his crony, the guy says, "Look, the Hornet's been here." So now they want to kill Britt Reed. And do they not have any security systems? I mean, I know they have a great one. So as you can see, and Britt's like, "Thanks, Kato. Maybe we should install some cameras outside since I'm rich. I own a newspaper and a television. Very, very wealthy, but he's..." and they go back and burst into the guy's like, "You're killing me with these doors. I'm going to go broke." And just a funny, but off they go. So he runs out to the Explorers Club. He's the bait. And here's the other cronies who, I remember in James Van Hy's book about the Green Hornet. Look, he says it looks like they're just beating up old men. I don't think that these two are much older than Britt, but the guy behind him was. But I couldn't figure out if this was supposed to be day for night. But they're all experienced hunters, so they're going to hunt. They're going to kill they know the Hornet's after them, so there they go. And I'm assuming it's supposed to be day, but there's just not. There's some poor continuity here, which doesn't ruin the episode because as a kid you never even notice. It's just something. If you know, you know. So he's in the dark, but they're in the forest they've set up a trap and a snare, and they're guiding him. So, and you'll notice that Kato's got his nunchucks there, or nunchaku, or however you want to say it. Spears come flying down at him, but they miss. And there you get to see the gas gun in action. I wonder what that was. I'm sure it was just dust, but he had to shoot. He could shoot past the guy so it would look like it was in his face so he wouldn't inhale the shit. And that's a long bow. That's probably 150-pound pull. So those are hefty arrows. So these guys know what they're doing. Unfortunately for him, so does Kato. And once again, you see broad daylight. You get a monkey flip from the Green Hornet. And, if you don't land properly, that's going to knock the wind right out of you. And there's this boot to the head. They must have trusted Kato or Bruce not to actually kick them in the face. Although accidents happen. It's not an if, it's a when. And now he's trying to make a deal with the Hornet, gets caught up hoisted by his own petard, or at least his own snare. And they just laugh. I mean, these guys killed everyone, but they know he's going down. Going down. Back to the Sentinel. And Mike's like, how come what's going on here? But, Mike's kind of dense, isn't he? So, my fellow agents, there is our 3 episodes. I think this worked out well. We'll probably do at least one more with 3. Maybe we'll weave in the Batman crossover as well, but I might talk too much about that. So we'll find out. But until our next assignment, which is tomorrow is 7 Song Friday, and we are a couple days late for April Fools, but keep that in mind as to what the theme is going to be. And until our next assignment, let's listen. Let's grab this here. This is X7 signing off.